Alright, what is going on, guys? It's gonna be my first video ever, so welcome to the channel. And yeah, today I'm gonna be reviewing a game by Mittens and Lc0. This was ran by me. I use a chess program called Hierarchs. I believe I'm saying that right. But yeah, it's a really nice analyzing program where you can also run engines against each other, and it's really fun to watch some of these games. So this is a 5-minute game played by Leela and Mittens. So this is not going to be perfect accuracy by any means, and it also is Fisher random, as you can see by these pieces all on the back rank and whatnot. If you do not know how Fisher random works, the only rule is that the king has to be able to castle. So if the king were to castle this way, the king would go on G and the rook would go on F. And then if it were to castle this way, the king would go on C and the rook would go on D, just like your normal castling. And there has to be no pieces in the way of the king and the rook. So if you move this bishop out the way, you actually can just castle right away. But yeah, this channel anyways is just gonna be mainly me showing off some engine games, maybe some of my own. I don't really know what else I want to do with it yet, but I have a lot of these crazy engine games that I want to show off because they're insane. And yeah, so anyways, today I just wanted to see what would happen if I paired up Mittens versus Leela Chess and Chess 960. So here we go. We're going to start this game. So we start off with c4, probably just wanting to kind of open up. I mean, the knights are already open, but, just open up this side of the board. Probably going to have some developing moves come out. We have e6 from Mittens, activating the bishop, d4, d5, takes. So this is all just, kind of center activation. We see this, kind of pattern a lot in regular chess. So you get a normal type of opening. Knight c3, knight b6. This knight is actually going to come to the outside. I guess it just wanted to double defend this pawn. And I just noticed that I do not have the move audio. I am so sorry, guys. Let me get that rolling. Okay. Well, yeah, my bad. I just figured that out. I looked over at OBS and it wasn't making noises for the moves. But anyways, we have knight comes out, like I said. Then we have h4 from Leela. So, Leela kind of got sick of Mittens' games over here. So it's just going to start firing shots. It goes h4. It goes f3. It brings this bishop out. And we actually see Mittens' castle here, and you see that was made possible because this bishop came out, and then the castle happened. So the king just stays in its spot, but the rook does a little jump, and you get a castle. So here we have an attack move by Leela, attacking the knight and the pawn. Probably some ideas if the bishop were to move here to take, or just to take here. We end up getting takes, and this pawn structure does not look very good for black, and this white king is very safe. I mean, it's pretty much got a house, with entertainment in here and like a sound system. I don't know. My point is it's really safe. Like, this bishop is guarding this. This is guarded. It's very safe for white. We get e3 though, rook comes over, and b3. I don't really understand these pawn moves. Kind of just consolidating the position, I guess. This one is more understandable because it's just kind of locking down the position in the middle so that when this rook comes out, it's not, disrupting much. But this one over here doesn't make the most sense. Maybe to have some ideas of a4 coming. And then we get queen b2. So two ideas here by Leela that are a little crazy. This one's kind of logical. You kick the knight out as it comes to b4, and the knight is actually going to come down into here. When I was analyzing this game, I had browser stockfish running in the Mittens game too, and here it actually thought Leela blundered for knight takes c2, which is kind of interesting. But we get this, basically wanting to win the knight over, so the knight has to take here, and Leela doesn't even take. It advances the rook over, attacking the knight in two ways. It plays knight e2, and g4. So Leela just starts getting really aggressive. It brings another piece into the play. It's got this lined up. It plays a4 now. So yeah, that's a little bit of a hard one to explain. You get all this geared up over here for about 5-ish moves, and then all of a sudden just a4. I guess all of a sudden, a5 became a little more weak since this pawn is pressed down, and the engine just, wanted to threaten that. But we get knight coming over, so a5 can't happen. Probably a5 and b4 would have happened, if something like here. We can see that the engine does indeed want, well, it's kind of also like in queen d2. But one of the top moves is a5 here, with the idea of, maybe playing b4 after that. But we get knight over, defending both these squares that these pawns can come to, and h5. Now, here it doesn't look like, Mittens is in much trouble, but Mittens is in a lot of trouble. This king side, this king is just going to find a little hole here, and be really safe, and these rooks are going to come on. This queen's going to slide over and attack on the diagonal. It's going to get really ugly. And you see we get queen over, pawn up. So here, Stockfish after this move really liked g5 too. You can see the evals going up. And rook comes down, g takes, and the rook takes, which I thought was interesting. We get bishop e3, pretty standard idea, attacking the rook. The rook moves back to h8. So now, Mittens is really in a lot of trouble. Yeah, a lot of trouble. This is not good for Mr. Mittens here. This rook might come out. This queen could get on the diagonal. There's a lot of things that could happen here. But Leela just decides to, continue pressing, play h6, and actually bring this bishop out, which I think the top engine idea here is to actually, play h7. According to Stockfish, the engines aren't going to agree on everything, obviously. This is why we pair them up against each other. But, h7, king f8, bishop to h6 here. Wow, it's actually saying this right here is winning. Because if you take here, okay, knight c3 after that is, that's not it. Knight c3. Because here is only +6. That's crazy. I won't get too off track, but that just shows you how crazy some of these engine games get. And knight c3, what does that move even do besides attack the pawn, And it's probably because after bishop e6, we're just gonna get rook takes, and then we're gonna get queen up here. And now at some point, this knight is probably gonna make its way into battle, and that's why all this happened. But anyways, I'm not going to get too far away from the engine lines. That's just one of the crazy lines that could have come out of this game. But in the game, we got bishop back, f4 or f5, sorry. The knight comes out, probably just, wanting to hit this piece with 2 and activate the knight. And here, we go ahead and we get takes, and now it's pretty much just over. The knight moves up, guarding the pawn. The queen moves onto the file. You have takes first, and then bishop takes here, taking the knight. Rook g1 is the winning move, though, because, you can't take here, because takes, if you go here, I'm just going to put my queen here, and there's no way you're stopping mate. And if you, take, go here, I have queen check, and you're forced to move over, then I have mate here too. So this is really not looking good for black. The move Mittens has to play is takes, which basically, something that the engines do when they're down a lot of material and it's about to be mate in a couple moves. They just start sacking pieces. And I want to talk about the engines a little bit more in a video that I'm probably going to make about how the engines work and what have they taught me. But, that's one of the things the engines do, is they will sack pieces to prolong the checkmate, If there's a mate in 1 and it can sack its queen, it's always going to do it to prolong the game, So we get takes, and, Leela just ignores it. I don't know what went on with my arrows there. Sorry. Leela just ignores it and plays rook g6. There's a pawn hanging right here. There's this pawn, technically hanging, because if you take, the queen can't take, because queen check here, king could go here, and then you just promote for checkmate. And I don't know, like, if that's how this all could play out, though. Like, if takes here, you can't take. Yeah, I guess here, rook d8, takes, king h7, and g8 queen. Yeah, so that line that I looked into, it was winning. But in the game, after rook goes up, after queen takes, and the bishop comes back to block, and that is pretty much the seal of death by Leela here to Mittens, because after queen up, check, it's going to promote to a queen to win it. And yeah, I mean, just an amazing game by Leela here. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And if you liked my video, please leave a subscribe and a like. It helps out since I'm a small channel. A lot more than you would think, actually. But, thank you for making it to the end of my 10-minute video. And I'll catch you all later. Peace out.